Hello, my name is Olivia Newman, and today I will be presenting my research, which I worked on with Lafayette College professor Caleb Gallimore, entitled Sustainability Certification in Deforestation-Linked Value Chains, Contrasting Soy and Palm Oil. This flash talk will explore two certification organizations, the RTRS and the RSPO, and the potential reasoning behind their differing success rates. The RTRS, which stands for the Roundtable on Responsible Soy, is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to promote the growth of production, trade, and use of responsible soy. This organization also aims to develop, implement, and verify a global certification standard for sustainable soy production. The RTRS works with various stakeholders relevant to the soy supply chain, including producers, suppliers, manufacturers, retailers, financial institutions, and civil society organizations. The RSPO stands for the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil. It is a very similar organization with goals of developing and implementing global standards for sustainable palm oil and working with stakeholders from the 7 sectors of the oil palm industry, including oil palm producers, processors and traders, consumer goods manufacturers, retailers, banks and investors, and environmental and social non-governmental organizations. The RTRS and the RSPO are very alike in design and structure and deal with similar industries and deforestation issues. However, they differ greatly in their membership. It is clear from this graph that producer membership in the RTRS decreased significantly between 2010 to 2014 and 2015 to 2019, as did the other stakeholder groups, including civil society, industry, finance and trade, and observers. However, those groups do have an upward trend that took place over the last 6 years. In comparison, the RSPO had exponential growth in all 7 sectors, including banks and investors, ENGOs, growers, manufacturers, retailers, SNGOs, and traders between 2004 and 2013. And although growth is likely no longer exponential, this is still a dramatic difference. The question is, why does this difference exist? I hypothesize that this difference is a result of a difference in environmental impact between soy and palm oil, reputational risks, key producer involvement, and key stakeholder influence. While soy and palm oil are both detrimental to the environment, the Amazon soy moratorium dramatically reduced soy-linked deforestation in the Amazon in the latter half of the 2000s. Not only that, but estimated greenhouse gas emissions per ton is many times higher for palm oil than it is for soy. As a result of the achievements of the moratorium and the greater severity of palm oil's impacts on the environment, the attention on palm oil was much higher, leading to higher involvement in the RSPO. One of the main goals of joining an organization like the RTRS or the RSPO is to maintain a firm's environmental reputation. When environmental advocacy groups began to chastise firms for their involvement in unsustainable palm oil production, big manufacturers and retailers pushed the firms to join organizations like the RSPO in order to salvage their reputations. This same pressure from manufacturers and retailers is not visible in the soy sector, which could be because of soy's lower impact on the environment, as mentioned previously. In addition, by looking at major reports and publications focused on palm oil and soy from Greenpeace International, US and European Union, Friends of the Earth International, and the Rainforest Action Network, it is clear that these advocacy groups expressed much greater concern for palm oil than soy. This likely contributed to the pressure on firms along the palm oil supply chain to join the RSPO, and to the lack of pressure to focus on organizations promoting sustainable soy. Key producer involvement is also another important aspect of membership decisions. In his article, Private Regulation and Global Economic Change, The Drivers of Sustainable Agriculture in Brazil, Peter Schleifer argues this point, citing the exit of Abiob and AproSoja, 2 key producers from the RTRS, as a turning point for the organization. Abiob and AproSoja left between 2010 to 2014, and it is clear from the graph that producers as a whole dropped in that same time frame, and their numbers never recovered. Key stakeholder influence is also a key reason for membership withdrawal from the RTRS. In the RSPO, the producers were a powerful voting bloc in the early years of the organization. These larger plantations were able to dominate the conversation and pay less attention to smallholders, whereas this was not the case with the RTRS. The major producers, such as AproSoja, which is a representative organization made up of rural producers linked to soybean cultivation, also represented a smaller constituency that was being left out of the decision-making, as seen by the fact that AproSoja, WWF, Solidaridad, Unilever, and NutriCo were the executive board members for multiple years running in the RTRS. The fact that the concerns of the smaller groups APROSOJA represented were not being heard is a potential reason that APROSOJA decided to leave the RTRS. Based on this research, in order for the RTRS and other similar environmental certification associations to retain their membership, it is important to focus on aligning the association's ideals with both the prevalent issues of the time and the reputational goals of their stakeholders, and ensuring that key producers are heard and their needs are met, including those needs that relate to the smaller stakeholders they may represent. With these points in mind, organizations such as the RTRS may have a better chance of building and maintaining a strong membership base. Thank you.